They've been everywhere for the past week.
Be careful out there.
Thanks. Keep digging.
A word of advice, stay off the Aug Rights web pages this week.
The problem with a collective is that they've branded themselves as online Robin Hoods.
No, that's not consistent with the train station camera.
I've run DNA checks through all the alphabet agencies. Nothing.
It's not like I support what the collective is doing.
Composition could tell us.
Maybe it's a cliche that in order to catch a criminal you have to think like one, but it also happens to be true.
I'll nail it. No one.
Maybe... Whoever's in charge...
Hey, Agent Jensen, nice work in Dubai. But still, you know what I want to know is who those ogged-up guys in the gold masks were. I'll be compiling all the case files, and as soon as I know anything, it'll be up on the board.
It'd be easier if someone would just step up and do it.
Oh my God, it's a comedy of errors. None of it takes place.
Maybe the
Anomaly
connection is that there is no connection.
Trace program initiated. Access granted.
Maybe whoever's in charge doesn't want anyone to feel safe.
Where we know state police aren't above profiling. How's security over there?
State police are playing stingy
The
with sharing
explosives were
evidence.
designed to get maximum spread.
I've been scrubbing through garbage for hours, still nothing.
I don't even know where to
You'd think
start
one of them would
with
pop up on some list.
Thanks.
The problem
Keep
with a
digging.
collective is that they've branded themselves as online Robin
Hey, it's a good thing you got that signal booster offline. Agent Singh spent a long time
If there's
getting in with the
something here,
gin.
I'll find it.
Be ashamed to have it blow his cover.
It'd be easier
Here we
if
go.
someone would
The
just
Church of the
tell us
Machine
a lot
God, and
of
to
the
some,
trigger
the
that
Church of the
we
Machine,
talking.
without the God. And then again, to others, the Singularity Church of the Machine God. This group has so many names and subgroups, it's hard to keep track. And believe it or not, they've been around in one form or another since the early 1970s.
Who the fuck are you?
There are a lot of contradictory reports on who they are and what they want, but in general, they all want the same thing. They want to merge their consciousnesses
I'd love to
and
get a look
become
at the
one
bonds
with the
like
Machine
myself,
God
but
through a
keep their
ritual
dice,
they
not our
call
show.
Ascension.
State police are playing stingy
What to
with
say
sharing
about the
evidence.
Juggernaut Collective that isn't speculation. A bunch of their members
Is
were
it or
running
is it not a
operations out of
probable
Montreal
target?
in 27, resurfacing for a while in 28. You heard of the Rifleman
What I
Bank
need
Station?
you to do
Bell
is
Tower?
listen to me.
Anyway, the Collective is a group of
We're
hacker
advising you to
activists,
stay
or
at home.
hacktivists. God, I
Maybe
hate that
whoever's
word.
in charge doesn't
Dedicated
want
to the
anyone
cause
feel
of
safe.
freedom. At least that's what they say, or what their actions appear to say. They fight corruption by exposing hypocrisy and protecting the unprotected. No one knows the real power structure inside of the collective, but there is one name that echoes over the darkness, and that name that echoes even louder than Hex. And you can talk to Peter Chang if you don't believe me.
I've
That
run
name
DNA
is
checks through all the
Janus,
alphabet agencies.
and some say Janus
Maybe
runs
it's the right is that there
everything,
is
while
no
others think there is no Janus.
Negative. They're saying it was faulty wiring.
Samizdat is an underground news outlet that likes to think of itself as the real news. They are anti-establishment and anti-almost everything else, including business addresses, so we like to keep our eyes and ears open for any
I'd
mention
love
of
to
them.
get a look at the bond site myself, but no dice.
The
not
New
our
Sons
show.
of Freedom, or NSF, is a small group of militant constitutionalists and secessionists operating in the continental United States, particularly in the Pacific Northwest. The group was formed as a reaction to the American government's increasingly authoritarian regime. NSF is committed to fighting the influence and control of a group of unknown people they believe to be the Illuminati with strategic guerrilla warfare strikes. They are suspected of having ties with Janus and the
Maybe
Juggernaut
whoever's in
Collective.
charge doesn't want anyone to feel safe.
I'll nail it. No one will.
There's a rumor that the Church of the Machine God is building a machine that will help bring forth the Singularity. Sure, I guess that's a possibility.
Preemptive action would be
I'm just not
great
sure
on our
what they would
website.
plug that machine into. The Church of the Machine God has a leader, but all we know about her at this point is that she's a woman, and they call her Mother. That's creepy, right? I
What
think
I
that's really
hear, the explosives were designed to get maximum
Janus.
spread.
I mean, what can you say about him? Or her. Nobody really knows who or what Janus is. But what many believe is that Janus is running the
Maybe
most
the
dangerous
connection
hacking
is that
group
there
in
is
the
no
world,
connection.
attacking corrupt politicians and businesses on a global scale. The
No,
corporate
it's the
world
right
is
call.
terrified of
Our members
changes.
do not have to take the
I'm
blame.
not gonna do this fucking job. Who the fuck
You
are
know
you?
as much as I do about these guys. They're augmented, well-trained, and very dangerous. And they seem to be massing weapons and AUGs for some sort of attack. We don't know what yet.
What I need you to do is listen to me.
You'd think one of them would pop up on some.
You've heard of these guys. ARC, or the Augmented Rights Coalition.
might as well be
They're a
ghosts.
human rights group who,
Right now, I
on
think
the
my
surface at
brother's
least, is trying to provide equal rights for augmented people.
Is it or is it not
It was
a
started by
probable
Dr.
target?
Talos Rucker, soon after the AUG incident when Rucker started to speak out against the anti-AUG legislation that was being passed by several local governments. If you ask me, it's not working. They seem to be getting
Composition
worse.
could tell us a
ARC
lot,
preaches
but it's the trigger
nonviolence,
that
but a
really does
string
the
of
talking.
terror attacks has put them on the terror
State
watch
police
list.
are playing
So I'll let you be the
stingy
judge.
with
It'd be easier if someone would just step
Dr.
up and do
Talos
it
Rucker,
without saying
former
sorry.
Limb Clinic doctor and current leader of the Augmented Rights Coalition. Rucker has chosen to leave his native Germany and to live in the Utelite complex near Prague as a protest to draw attention to the upcoming Human Restoration Act vote. Rucker is a pacifist and believes that what is happening in Prague is what will happen all over the world if the Restoration Act becomes law.
Preemptive action would be great if we knew where to start.
Purity First is an anti-AUG group dedicated
That's all
to
the
keeping
data I
humans
have right
human,
now.
all pure, no augmentations. In their obsessive pursuit of this goal, they have taken extreme measures and are suspected of being responsible for
What I
multiple
hear,
acts of
the
breaking and
explosives
entering,
were designed to
vandalism,
get
and theft.
maximum spread.
On occasion, they've even become violent, being implicated in several assaults and murders as they push for their goal of
Deep down, they
human
all want to
purity.
be caught.
They've been quiet since the incident.
I'd love to get a look at the bomb site myself.
I would have thought you'd
Right.
had to these guys since Dubai, Jensen. The Jinn, a group of smugglers led by twin brothers Salar and Wasim Alam. Their exact base of operations is unknown, but it's most likely in Muscat, Oman.
I'm sorry,
The
we're
brothers
all
Alam
strung
have
out
been in
shit.
operation
Just
since
wish someone
2020
would nut up
and
and
have
take the
greatly
blame.
expanded their operations since then, recruiting mercenaries, ex-military, nationalistic agitators, and other colorful criminal agitators from Afghanistan,
Listening to
Iran,
this
Iraq,
crazy
Saudi
chatter?
Arabia, and the surrounding
God,
region.
it's a comedy
They
of
deal in
errors.
drugs, weapons, medical
Negative.
implants,
They're saying it
AUGs,
was
and
faulty
they
wiring.
occasionally throw in some human trafficking.
These guys might as
Who
well
am
be
I?
ghosts.
I'm the guy
Our
doing
arms
this
dealer
fucking job.
Shepard,
Who the fuck
aka
are
John
you?
Trent, is a former Special Forces commander and ex-Bell Tower operative. And as is typical for those ex-Bell Tower employees, he's been selling off old Bell Tower
Composition
tech
could
and
tell
weapons.
us a lot, but it's
we
the
don't need to
trigger
worry
that
about
really
him
does the
anymore.
talking.
He was killed by those
Maybe
gold
the
mask guys in
connection is
Dubai.
that there is no connection. Is that fucked up?
How's security over there?
Patience is the first thing you learn.
This
to
guy
handle.
is the face of the Jinn
Preemptive
and a
action would be great if
charismatic
you knew where
force
to
of
All the
nature.
data I have right
They
now.
call him the Bull of the North and the Heart of the Jinn. Real name Salar, works in conjunction with his cold and calculating brother, Wasim, who saved his life during the AUG incident.
Might as well be ghosts.
He is proudly augmented and parades his
What I
AUGs
need you
around
to
wherever
do
and
is
whenever
listen
he
to
likes.
faulty wiring.
The hatred of AUGs from groups around the world has only emboldened him and his organization.
What I hear, the explosives were designed to get maximum spread.
Wasim Alam, the head of the Jinn, former limb clinic doctor and surgeon before he turned to more profitable enterprises.
one of them would pop
He
up
brings
on
the
some
same
list
cold and
somewhere.
calculated approach he brought to saving
Just
lives
wish
to running his
someone would
business
nut
with
up
his
and
brother,
take the blame.
Salar.
This is so weird. I close my eyes, but all I see is strings of coke swirling on my lids.
Is it
There's
or is
something
it
here,
not a
I'll
probable
find it.
target?
Ah, Agent Singh, great poker player. I still owe him 100
DNA
credits.
checks through all
So
the
I hope his
alphabet.
incursion with the Jinn lasts another few months. You know, maybe he'll forget I owe him the money.
I'd love to get a look at the bomb site myself, but
Oh, here we
Guys,
go.
not our
The
show.
Diwali crime family. As you may already know, they're one of the largest crime syndicates
State
in
police
Eastern
are playing
Europe, but
stingy
they
with
do
sharing
business
evidence.
almost everywhere, from Northern Europe all the way to the Middle East.
Thanks.
After their holiday beginnings in
I don't even know
Town in
where to
Georgia,
start with
the
theorizing
Diwali quickly
percentages.
moved from gambling
They're
to more
posturing,
lucrative criminal
as opposed to
enterprises until they
conducting
found
an
their
actual
specialty,
investigation.
smuggling,
There isn't much
which
here to
includes
go on.
human trafficking too. The Diwali can get anything to anywhere.
Maybe the
It's as if
connection is
borders
that
just
there
don't
is no
exist.
Through all the alphabet.
But their rapid
fucked up?
expansion
You
came
know,
at the
state
cost of their
police
Georgian
find
purity
composition
when they
can
started
tell us a lot,
incorporating an
but it's the
ever-increasing
trigger
number of
that
Russians
really
into the group. If you ask
Run
me,
DNA checks
I
through all
think
the
a major
alphabet.
power struggle is coming within the Diwali. One of the old versus the new, the past
What I hear,
versus
the explosives
future.
were designed to get maximum spread.
God,
it's a comedy of errors.
State police
the
are playing stingy
elusive
with sharing
Radic
evidence.
Nicoladze. This guy's a piece of work, driven and ruthless. When he came up, he was the youngest boss in the Diwali crime family.
Preemptive action would
The
be
man
great
spends
if we
more
knew where
money
to
on
start.
suits than most
I'm
people
not
spend
gonna
on
do
his
this
houses.
fucking job. Who the fuck
But
are
don't
you?
let the looks
Think
and
one
the
of
haute
them would
couture
pop up on
fool
some
you.
list
He's the
somewhere.
boss. He's in control, and he squashed more than a few people who've tried to take him down along the way. Otar
I'd love to get a look at the
Bacavelli. This
bomb site
guy's
myself,
a
but
classic.
no dice,
They don't
not
make
our
many
show.
like him
These guys might
anymore.
as
Sharp
well be
mind,
ghosts.
a
These
real
guys might
businessman.
as well be
One of
ghosts.
those gangsters who thinks that crime is a necessary evil, you know? If it's gonna happen,
They're like
he's there
serial
to make sure
killers.
people
Deep
have
down, they
respect
all wanna
and
be
make good
caught.
money. Good business.
It'd be easier. if
Otar's
someone would
right-hand
just
man
wish
is this
someone
guy,
would nut
Vanna.
up and take the
Not the
blame.
sharpest tool in the shed, if you know what I mean, but he's strong and loyal, something Otar values greatly. Ah, the Diwali called this guy
Negative.
Constantine.
They're saying it was faulty wiring.
Like that's supposed to be intimidating, right?
Pop up on some list.
We don't have a last name for Constantine, but until his death in the Bazooka bombing, he was a high-placed member of the Diwali crime family, answering to Otar Batkaveli. We suspect he has lots of connections in the upper echelons of the
That's all the
organization,
data I have
all
right
the way up to
Is it
Raj
or is it not
Nikoladze
a
and
public
beyond.
Run DNA checks
Between
for all
you
the
and me,
alphabet.
I suspect that he's a Khan, a spy that watches the Diwali lieutenant closely to make sure he doesn't make a move on the boss. The classic Diwali structure has two spies,
I'm
or
sorry, we're
Khans,
all
working
strung
for
out
the
shit.
lieutenant
I
to
don't
report
even know
directly
where
to the
to start
boss,
with
to make sure he stays the
percentages.
boss. Those guys are pretty violent.
Somewhere in this city, there's a mob-owned casino in the sewer.
Two mobsters in the morgue right now, members of the same
Preemptive
family.
action
who
would be
apparently
great
shot
when you
each
were to
other.
start.
That leads to some pretty horrifying speculation.
Thanks.
What I need you to do is listen.
My boss
Run
hasn't checked
DNA
in for
checks for all the
days.
alphabet
It
agencies.
occurs to me that he
Nothing.
might be buried somewhere in the rubble. I don't even know where
The
to
people
start with
studying the
theorizing
train station
percentages.
security camera footage asked my opinion about how vulnerable the surveillance system
aren't
is.
about profiling.
You think one of them would pop up on some list somewhere?
Negative. They're saying it was faulty wiring.
These guys might have been both.
Is it or is it not a probable target?
Anomaly detected. Trace program access granted.
Composition could tell us a lot, but it's the trigger that really does the talking. What I hear, the explosives were designed to get maximum spread. I'd love to get a look at the bonfire. Myself, but no dice, not our show.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
I've run DNA checks for all the options. Nothing.
Is it or is it not a probable target?
Close my eyes, but all I see is strings of code scrolling on my head. This is so weird.
These guys might as well be ghosts.
Maybe whoever's in charge doesn't.
Composition could tell us a lot, but it's the trigger that really does the talking. I don't even know where to start with theorizing percentages.
Agents Lee, Walker, and Hall report to the briefing.
Guys might as well be ghosts.
I'd love to get a look at the bomb site myself, but no dice, not our show.
Anomaly
Maybe the
detected.
connection is that there is
Trace
no
program initiated. Access granted.
Preemptive action would be great if we knew where to start.
Who am I? I'm the guy doing this fucking job. Who the fuck are you?
You'd think one of them would pop up on some list somewhere.
Smart move. They don't want to be caught in the dragnet.
I'll nail it. I know I will.
Negative. They're saying it was faulty wiring.
It'd be easier if someone would just step up and do it.
These guys might as well be ghosts.
I'd love to get a look at the bomb site myself, but no dice, not our show.
Anomaly detected.
You'd think one of them would
Trace
pop up on
program
some list.
initiated. Access granted.
Maybe the connection is that there is no
Composition could tell
connection.
us a lot, but
Is
it's
that
the trigger
fucked
that
up?
really does the talking.
I'd rather not say what this reminds me of.
Preemptive action would be great if we knew where to start.
Maybe whoever's in charge doesn't want anyone to feel safe. I've been scrubbing through garbage for hours, still not.
No, it's the right call. I'm relieved, to be honest.
Be careful out there.
What I hear, the explosives were
Close
designed
my
to
eyes, but all I
maximize
see is
spread.
strings of code. This is so weird.
Maybe whoever's in charge doesn't.
This is so weird.
Most likely eyewitnesses will
You know what
smash
they
through
say?
to the right.